Mic check.
I just pretty much like casually go into nothing official. Yeah. I don't even like, I feel like, because like people always introduce people and I'm like, your name's on the front.
Right.
I'm like, I don't really need to be like, hey guys, this is, everyone knows you're here. So.
Yeah.
So I just like casually go into whatever and just, I don't do a format. I don't do anything. I just want to like get to know the people that I'm talking to.
Yeah,
so.
no, I love it.
Patrick Sisk was a preacher for 8 years.
Yeah.
Or pastor.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
What's the difference? Just
terminology.
Okay.
It just depends on what religion you are, because some people will get angry and go, well, I'm not a pastor, I'm a preacher. Shut up. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Like it's just terminology, verbiage, and that's one of the many reasons that I'm not involved in organized religion anymore, is because of the stupid verbiage that people want to make a big deal about. And it's not about all that BS. It's just about being a good person.
Yeah.
Right? So,
I've learned that, because I was raised Catholic.
Okay.
And we went to Catholic church all the time. And when my parents didn't have me, we'd go to Baptist church on the weekends with my grandparents. So we got a little...
Yeah,
a little bit of flavor of the both.
Which one did you like more?
Baptist. It was so fun.
Yeah, Baptist. No,
it wasn't
party,
it wasn't like a cult kind of vibe.
Right, but there's a lot of cult type churches out there that as you're in it, and you sometimes you don't even realize you're in it until you're out of it, and then you go, "Oh, what the hell?" Mm-hmm. And then that's when you get real scared, because you're like, "Oh man, I was about to eat my children or something."
Yeah.
I mean, not literally, unless.
I mean, I'm saying, were you thinking about it before?
No. My kids aren't that fat.
Yeah.
Like, I would want to eat a fat kid.
Yeah. With a little bit extra seasoning.
Like give them, I want some meat on that kid. I don't want to just like a skinny kid.
If I'm gonna just like put them on a like fire rotisserie, like let them slow cook all day.
Right.
And,
if I'm gonna sacrifice a child to God, I want it to be a fat kid.
That's the way.
Yeah, I feel like so.
Yeah.
Somebody's watching this and like, oh, this is weird already.
Yeah, this is getting...
No, we're getting there.
We're getting in. This is how we get to know each other. No, yeah.
Absolutely. Barbecue. Nice smell of a rotisserie. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah. So what's it like to go from working with kids that are, I don't want to say normal because that's a negative term to say, I guess, but just like because now you're working with kids that have...
so a neurotypical child to what the population I work with now. And honestly, I think it's interesting because, working with kids with special needs or specifically autism, they're not that different. Maybe there's one or two things. Maybe you have to explain something a little more. Maybe you have to walk them through something a little differently. But they're a kid. And I think that's one of the problems with society, is that we look at people who are different than us, and we think we have to treat them so much different. And if we could all just treat each other, now there are some things, right, like religious practices that we can treat people differently, but for the most part, treat everybody with respect and just treat them like a normal person, and don't try to treat them like a creature. And that's how we make this world a better place, right?
Yeah.
Because I think too many people are just assholes, and because you look a little different than me now, you're not in my circle, and that's stupid.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's just how young kids are raised to disrespect people that don't look as like them.
Right.
And I feel like it comes from parents, like the way they see their parents treat other people, Because that's what, my dad was a little, he's got that generational racism.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So as you get older, you learn, you're like, oh shit, that's not the way.
Right. No, yeah. I remember the first time I realized that it was not appropriate to make race jokes at Christmas. And I was like, oh, wait, not every family does that? Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. So, and then once you do that, you're like, man, wow. Uncle so-and-so was racist. Wow. And you don't realize it. And then you're like, they were really, oh God. Yeah. Oh man. Like, but, no, it's, I think so many times we let our prejudice get in the way of whether it's the color of their skin or whether it's behaviorally or whatever. And we just, because this kid has autism, we have to treat him different. It's not that way. It's kind of sad because I think there's so many people out there that just desperately want to be treated normal.
Mm-hmm. And people talk to them like they're babies who can't understand what they're saying. It's annoying. Yeah. Right. I've heard people get pissed about that, about getting treated differently. And I'm like, it makes a lot of sense because if somebody came up to me and just started talking to me like I'm like, I don't get what you're saying. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. I mean, every time I walked in, I was like, Alex, it's going to be your turn on the stage next. You'd be like, why is this jackass talking to me like this? I'd be like, are you ready to be funny? You'd be like, I'm going to fucking kill this guy. Like, what in the world? So you've got to realize, like, right, it's that do unto others, right? Would you want somebody talking to you like that?
Exactly,
no, of course not. So be smart about it, dude. So
I think people are learning, though. I think people are, I mean, like, I feel like your generation, you're a millennial, a high millennial, or I'm a low millennial, like on the border of Gen Z.
Yeah, I'm 36. So I was born in 88. 36.
Okay, so you're close in age to my husband. Yeah. So you're on the higher end. Yeah, I feel like our generation, like newer generations are, I mean, some things get pushed a little bit too far on other aspects, but like, I feel like our kids are going to be better in the next kids.
No, I think so. I mean, I think I think there are going to be things that my generation, your generation, and like these next group of kids that come up, they're going to do so much better, but then there's going to be some things that they just suck at so much more.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And so it's finding that balance, because that's what life is, right? Is finding the balance. So are we going to find the balance, or are we going to tip the scale the other direction and go, oh shit, now we got a bunch of little whatever you want to call them, and I don't know what that generation looks like if we go the far extremes. So.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it was, at least in our society, it was almost getting there to a point to where, like, well, if it went this direction, people's words would have been restricted, and so like you get a viewpoint of what that would look like, and you're just like, okay, yeah, like you're saying, balance. You need balance to make it work, right? Yeah. I'm no politician, so I could never figure it out.
No. People start talking about politics, and they're like, the Democrat, the Republican. I'm just like, they put a lot of pretzels in Chex Mix. You guys realize that? That's pretty crazy, huh? And they're like, what's wrong with this guy? I'm like, we should get rid of those pretzels.
Yeah.
Because the pretzels are the worst part of Chex Mix.
We really got to stop letting the pretzels across the border.
Exactly. Those damn pretzels taking the jobs of the rye chips.
I know.
Those rye chips, all they've ever done was build tunnels in New York. Wait. Never mind.
There wasn't enough of them.
I like the rye chips. Do you like the rye chips?
I think they just don't put enough in there.
They don't.
Every time I'm always digging to find the perfect one.
Yeah. What's your least favorite part of Chex Mix?
The Chex.
Is it the Chex, really?
It's the Chex or the squares, right?
Yeah. That's your least favorite part? The
heaviest part is my least favorite part.
See, I hate the pretzel. The pretzel is so, like, if I wanted pretzels, I'd buy a bag of pretzels.
I like pretzels.
I think they're the most boring snack in the world.
But would you trade them out for the rye chips?
No. Why would I?
Really?
I like the rye chips.
You like them? You just
Yeah, like you can't, like there's at the store they have the ones where you can buy just the bag of rye chips, and that's too many rye chips. Yeah. I did it one night when I was high because I thought, oh man, that will hit the spot. It didn't.
Yeah.
I ate like 4 of them, and I was like, I think I'm done. I'm done with rye chips. That bag is still sitting in my car today.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, damn.
It's been there since 2012.
I wouldn't be surprised. That feels like,
and they still taste exactly the same, too, because that's what rye chips are.
I feel like people with kids always have just food randomly sitting in their car.
No, I just cleaned out the car, but I found a chicken nugget one day, and it was from Chick-fil-A, and we hadn't been to Chick-fil-A in like 2 months, and I was like, this is gross, guys. you're the worst. And my kids were like, sorry, Dad. And then my son was like, can I eat it? And I was like, no, you cannot eat a 2-month-old chicken nugget. You dumbass. He was like, oh, okay. Can we go to Chick-fil-A then? I'm like, yeah.
Fine.
Okay, yeah, we can go to Chick-fil-A. Let's go to Chick-fil-A, guys.
Chick-fil-A is great. I love their macaroni and cheese. Can't get enough of it.
Yeah, no, that they do have good macaroni and cheese.
For fast food, like it's good.
Oh, yeah.
It's better than Wawa mac and cheese. Wawa mac and cheese sucks ass.
See, I don't think I've never eaten Wawa mac and cheese because I don't trust gas station mac and cheese.
I tried it. It didn't make me sick, and it wasn't bad. So it wasn't like good. It just wasn't good. Like I'm not going there for mac and cheese ever again. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm kind of a cheese connoisseur.
Are you?
Which
a lot of white people are, I feel like.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not connoisseur. I just eat cheese. It's just like see cheese and eat cheese. You know what I'm saying?
You're like, oh, what's your favorite kind of cheese?
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella. Oh, yeah. You're obviously not a connoisseur. Mozzarella.
I ate 16 ounces in 2 days.
Wow, that's unhealthy.
It's horrible.
I just got a blueberry vanilla goat cheese the other day at the store because I wanted to feel fancy. Mm-hmm. And I realized when I got home, I didn't know what to do with it.
Okay.
Like I was just like, do I put it on bread? Do I put it on crackers? And that's what I ended up doing was crackers. And then I thought about how cool it would be to make a grilled cheese with it. So I'm going to do that at some point. I haven't done it yet, but I'm really excited.
That's interesting. I never thought about putting blueberry goat cheese on a grilled cheese.
Yeah. Make a fancy ass grilled cheese, a bougie grilled cheese.
What if you made it a dessert and you just like made like a brioche with like cinnamon, like almost like a French toast.
Okay.
With the blueberry goat cheese. Yeah. And then nice and crispy with almost like a tomato soup, but instead of tomato soup, a chocolate soup. But it's just like chocolate glaze.
I am so hard right now.
Dude, I mean, food. I get down on food, man.
That sounds delicious.
That shit makes me hard. It makes me go trans.
I think we should open a restaurant together, Alex.
I'm saying.
I mean, if we smoked enough weed and did some cocaine, we'd have all these business plans. We'd be like, hey, we can build a restaurant.
They would give us the money too, which is crazy because we're just confident. Yeah. You don't need anything else but confidence.
And then we'd open and they'd be like, what do you serve? I'm like, oh no,
fucking blueberry grilled cheeses.
We got blueberry and chocolate soup, and they go. We didn't think this far through. We had 2 things on the menu. It sounded really good.
It sounded great. What was your all-time like go-to munch when you're high? Like you get home and you're just like you're about to get down.
Her name was Rachel. And no, I'm just kidding. That girl won't listen to this podcast. That's fine. I'm a big fan of nachos. I love nachos.
Or like Bel Grande, homemade. Like
I do like the Bel Grande. Okay. I mean, I'll eat all sorts of nachos. Like now my favorite food of all time is like sushi. I will eat sushi anytime. I love sushi. But like growing up in like middle school, high school, I mean, nachos, I could homemade. It didn't matter. I would do poor man's nachos where you would just take like chips, put cheese on it, and then put it in the microwave.
Just did it 2 nights ago.
Yeah, put some sour cream on top and some taco sauce. Boom, you got nachos, dog. So, I mean, I love nachos, and I still do deep down inside, especially if I take an edible or something. I'm like, I should eat some nachos. I once DoorDashed like $30 worth of nachos to my house, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And my kids were like, oh, is this for us too? And I was like, yeah, that's what it was. Because then it didn't make me feel so shameful. Because $30 worth of nachos is too many nachos for one person. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I get down some nachos. I like if I can go to a restaurant and order like legit nachos.
Right.
Like those are top tier. Like you get good nachos. Oh, yeah. But I would still, like I said, just like microwave, pop that in, exactly, and have a good time.
Nacho Bel Grande though, but see, I don't like the beans from Taco Bell.
Yeah,
the beans are too thick for me.
The black. Have you tried both or just the?
No, I'm not a big bean fan.
You're not a bean guy. I don't eat meat, so I have to be a bean guy.
So you go straight beans.
Straight beans.
So how is that for you? Is it?
It's a rough Dutch oven for my husband at night. You know,
I bet that's really gross. Yeah,
it's not a good time.
Yeah,
but I got to regulate my bean intake. You know.
Yeah, no, that's probably pretty good. Yeah. You got to watch out for those. If your bean intake is too high, then the numbers just get thrown off,
and then you end up getting divorced. So
right,
it's not,
right, exactly. Because the more beans, the magical fruit, the more you eat, the more you toot.
Yeah, I've never heard that one.
The better you feel. So eat beans with every meal.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where are you from?
Tennessee.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Sounds like some shit my grandma would say. Yeah. She's from Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There were probably some N-words I left out there from the original writings from Tennessee, but I think I got the gist of it.
Yeah, so. We can paste the original scrolls on the Tennessee scrolls.
Good. Yeah. Davy Crockett wrote it himself before he went down to the Alamo.
Yeah. Boy, was there a lot of beans after that fight. I'm sorry.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun.
Oh, God.
Wow. That was great. Wow, that was... Ooh. That's incredible.
I think both of our faces are really red right now. That's okay.
No, that was good. That was funny.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Too hard, maybe.
1 point. 1 point. Right?
Okay.
There you go. Proud of you.
Finally.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You got on the board.
Yeah, no. I would always get down on Cheez-Its.
Ooh.
That was my, I would literally choke to death on the dust.
You straight into your vein.
Oh
You're
my God.
Doing lines of cheese dust.
It's like, you ever seen one of those concrete, dirt things where to get the dirt to the back of the property, it's like fucking funneling that shit in my mouth.
That's crazy.
And it was so dry because I would never get water.
Right.
I would just get home to my dad's condo. I'd grab the box of Cheez-Its and I would eat the whole thing in one sitting.
Like the original Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
No flavors or anything.
No, but now I get down on the white cheddar.
Yeah, the white cheddar are good. They had a spicy pickle goldfish recently, and I didn't hate that.
I love pickles.
I do too.
I'm a pickle guy.
Okay, pickle or cheese? Which one you pick?
Pickle.
You're going pickle over cheese?
If I had to die by it and could never touch one, I couldn't give up pickles.
Really? Mm-hmm. And see, but yeah, it was spicy pickle flavored goldfish, and they were delicious.
Amazing. I like the dill pickle chips.
Yeah.
You try those?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I like pretty much all the ones I've tried. Miss Vicky's is good.
Miss Vicky's has are they the ones that have the spicy dill pickle one?
I don't know, maybe.
I think it is. And those are the best pickle chips.
That's a newer one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it, but I haven't tried it.
Yeah, to me they're the best ones on the market right now.
I got to try that.
We're talking about the hard-hitting topics.
Listen, I might have to hit the grocery store on the way to the show tonight.
Forget the show. I'm just going to go look for pickle chips and just start eating them.
We're going to go get some cheese, nachos, and pickle chips.
Exactly.
That's a dinner for a queen right there.
Mm-hmm. I bet we could get you sponsored by pickle chips.
Pickle chips?
I don't know what pickle chips, but
the expensive kind. Every time I go to the store, I swear to God, even Walmart, the best pickles are, I don't even know, I know what it looks like. I'm an image person, so I'm not very good with my words all the time. But they're like $8 for like a regular jar of pickles, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
So describe the pickle jar.
It's a plastic jar with a plastic lid, and it's got the little rip-off tab. And they keep it in the cold section. It's got the white label around it.
Yeah, I think I know what.
Yeah.
I was just on a show in Gainesville, and I was doing, it was a roast battle. And the other judge, I can't think of his name right now, but he looked like Timu Jeffrey Dahmer. And and he pulled out a thing of pickles and goes, "Hey, do you want some pickles, man?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" And he goes, "Yeah, while we're judging that." And I was like, I mean, yeah, and they were delicious. They were really good pickles. But
yeah.
And then he pulled out bread and then more pickles.
Is he from Europe?
No, I think he's from Gainesville, which is also kind of like being from Europe.
Okay, yeah. That's the Florida, Poland.
Yeah, I feel like, Poland would be the equivalent to Gainesville.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. Miami is obviously Cuba.
Yeah.
What's Orlando?
I can't say it.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna have to go back and bleep it out, and I don't want to do extra work. But you know what I was gonna say.
Fair. Okay.
No, I would equalize Orlando to like outside the country,
or inside. I mean, wherever you want to go.
We'll call it Ukraine.
The Ukraine, just desperation.
Yeah, because everyone else
and they
around
funnel us
like,
money. They do.
Yeah.
Everybody else funnels us money because of Disney World and Universal.
And there's sex trafficking happening in Orlando, just like there is in Ukraine.
Yeah.
I heard Biden was sex trafficking children in Ukraine, but
what? Where did you hear that? That's crazy.
It's probably a conspiracy theory.
He probably while he was eating
dive
cheese
on
nachos.
Dumb shit. Yeah.
So.
It's bad. YouTube rabbit holes is not a good idea.
Are you a big conspiracy theory fan?
Oh God, yeah, I love it.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite one right now is Project Bluebeam.
Oh, okay.
But I also like Middle Earth is interesting, like Argentina.
Wait, what?
You don't know about that? Okay, so
about,
there's
like,
this crazy. So for me,
because hobbits in Argentina, they're just Argentinians.
Disclaimer,
they're just small little.
I don't agree with all of these 100%.
Okay.
The midgets, I don't know about those. I don't know about those. I should probably say short people.
Yeah.
What do you call them now?
I was talking about hobbits from Middle Earth.
I said midgets. I'm sorry.
You said midgets. You went straight there. Like
I'm sorry.
I think hobbits are smaller than little people, though.
Like gnomes.
Yeah, they're kind of like gnomes.
Yeah.
But not because Gimli was a dwarf. Sorry, I'm a nerd. Okay.
But a dwarf is the same thing as a hobbit.
No, those are totally different things. If you have any fans or literature fans, they are pissed off at you right now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Have you ever watched The Lord of the Rings?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
My dad put it on when I was a child, and I never watched it.
I'm sorry.
I was a Harry Potter person.
Okay.
And Star Wars.
Oh.
But that's pretty much it. Maybe I should watch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm a big fan. But anyways, okay, Middle Earth, Argentina.
We're going to trail off somewhere.
Where are we going on this
Okay,
one?
so I don't believe this, but there's a conspiracy theory that Hitler didn't die.
Okay.
He went to Argentina.
All right.
And in Argentina, there is a lot of Germans, supposedly. So people think that he brought a bunch of people with him and like start a little town over there, whatever. But there's a theory that that's a theory. It's like a theory within a theory. It's like inception of theories. And he basically went to Antarctica, to this place called Middle Earth, which is in the middle of Antarctica. There's a hole to the middle of the earth, to the center of the earth.
Okay.
And basically there's a whole nother world underneath the inside of the earth. And that's where Hitler is, yeah.
So Hitler's the king of
I don't know if he discovered it, but apparently there's UFOs down there too. That's where all the UFOs are coming from.
So like Hitler like the king of Middle Earth, or?
I don't know. I would assume so.
Wow.
If he had to escape any place.
What does Middle Earth look like?
There's drawings of it.
Oh.
Like very green. Very pretty. And then some part of it looks evil, and I think that's where Hitler lives.
Oh,
but
yeah, probably.
It's like really dark and like.
I feel like I just asked a 5-year-old to describe Disney World, and you're like, it's really green and pretty, but there's scary parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
the haunted
the
mansion.
castle and then the haunted mansion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's very interesting because there's this CIA operation that was done in, I think it was the 90s, where they had people doing projection, 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 9D, 10D, 11D, 12D, 13D, 14D, 15D, 16D, 17D, 18D, 19D, 20D, 21D, 22D, 23D, 24D, 25D, 26D, 27D, 28D, 29D, 30D, 31D, 32D, 33D, 34D, 35D, 36D, 37D, 38D, 39D, 40D, 41D, 42D, 43D, 44D, 45D, 46D, 47D, 48D, 49D, 50D, 51D, 52D, 53D, 54D, 55D, 56D, 57D, 58D, 59D, 60D, 61D, 62D, 63D, 64D, 65D, 66D, 67D, 68D, 69D, 70D, 71D, 72D, 73D, 74D, 75D, 76D, 77D, 78D, 79D, 80D, 81D, 82D, 83D, 84D, 85D, 86D, 87D, 88D, 89D, 90D, 91D, 92D, 93D, 94D, 95D, 96D, 97D, basically teleporting in their minds.
Right.
And they would describe a place.
Right.
To say like, oh, this is here. And they were trying to help them. Basically, they were helping them look for nuclear weapons all over the United States.
Okay.
And they ended up finding something super weird like UFOs and shit like that. And then there was one guy that, well, maybe it's a separate thing. I don't know. There's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff, but
no, that's wild. What do you think what do you think these drones are that are flying around?
Jeff Bezos in his private plane.
You think he's just bored? You think it's just some rich people who are bored right now?
I really don't know. I mean, like, what's weird is that they won't say anything about it.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, it's not harmful, but it's not us.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is
that?
It
gets weird. It gets weird.
I mean, there's a lot of smart people out there that don't work for the government. So, like, maybe there's somebody out there doing some, like, private, like, weird shit in New Jersey, and it's just, like, some guy that, like, maybe it's the same guy that blew up the Tesla truck, or...
Well, he was in the Tesla truck.
Oh, the guy that blew it up was in it?
Yeah, he was in it.
Oh, so he was just testing the durability of it?
I guess so, maybe. He was just like, I wonder what would happen if I lit these fireworks in my Tesla truck. But there was someone in the Tesla truck, I believe, that blew up in front of Trump Tower.
Yeah.
I believe.
They searched the guy's house. Oh, so this is crazy. Did you hear about this?
You haven't said it, so no.
Sorry. They let Newsweek in the guy's house the day after it happened, which is weird because usually when the FBI is involved in an investigation, it's a crime scene. Yeah, right? So there's basically an MTV Cribs tour of this guy's place. There's a Quran like open with some weird writing on. Like it looks to me, okay, I'm not trying to be too conspiracy, but it looks set up to me. Like it's weird. I don't know. What do you have you seen like any of that?
I didn't hear anything about that. That's crazy. Yeah. No, I don't know. There's so many things that happen in our world today where I go, I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the shooting that happened in Las Vegas several years ago at the country music like show. Like, there's no way the guy should have been able to get away with what he did.
Yeah.
And like I've watched like conspiracy theories on that, like that he wasn't a lone gunman and that there's other things to it. And I don't know, there's just a lot of weird things that are going on in this world. And I'm not gonna say it's like the Illuminati. I really don't think that. Even though I've been messaged to join the Illuminati on Instagram. You ever been messaged by the Illuminati?
No.
Yeah, they messaged me on Instagram and told me that they could make me wealthy beyond my wildest dreams.
Yeah.
And all I had to do is text the Grand Master on WhatsApp. And I was like, wait, your Grand Master doesn't have anything else than WhatsApp? And they're like, no, that's how he prefers to communicate. And I was like, well, he doesn't sound that grand to me.
So you turned it down?
Yeah, I turned it down. I wasn't going to.
Are you sure you weren't talking to Zach Bryan?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it might have just been a bunch of guys just sitting in the back of a van waiting to kidnap me.
I don't know. I see people like do that. Like I don't want anything to do with that, to be honest. Yeah. So I'm not going to do any of that. But
right. No, I've already said it. We've already been flagged now because we've said Illuminati once, now twice.
I just don't want. You know, I see people do the symbols like on the shit, and I'm just like, there's something there.
Yeah.
Do they control everything? I feel like it's just an individual or group, like a small group that's a part of a whole.
Right. Like I don't think there is a secret organization of rich people that sit around a table and talk about like everyday things like, oh man, we should really screw Alex over doing this, because I don't think it's like that specific. But if I do think the idea that rich people control the world, duh.
Yeah.
Like no duh.
And if they need to take somebody out, they have backup.
Yeah, they'll do what they have to do. I think you're going to see a lot of that with this P. Diddy trial that comes out. I think P. Diddy has been kind of a scapegoat now, even though like he's a patsy, so to speak. He's going to take the fall for a lot of people.
It's funny you say that because I was talking to my husband about it the other day, and I'm just like, you know what? It's interesting to see that this man was one of the most successful music producers in our time, period.
Right.
And has a lot of money.
Right.
Has his hands in a lot of pots, I bet. I mean, everybody knows. And it's like, you got to think, like, if this guy is going down, it's because someone wants him to go down.
I think, and again, I could be wrong. That's why conspiracy theories are fun, right? You can just kind of throw things out there. I think a long time ago, this group came to P. Diddy and said, hey, look, we're going to make you the face of this. And we're going to do a lot of things behind the scenes that we probably shouldn't do, blah, blah, blah. Fill in the blank, and you are going to be the king of the castle. Mm-hmm. However, there's going to come a day when it's going to run out. Now, you might not be alive when it runs out, but there will be a day, and it's going to run out, and you're going to be the fall guy, and everything's going to fall on you, and you're going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically, almost like selling your soul to the devil, right?
Yeah.
Like that concept of you sell your soul to the devil, and someday you're going to have to pay up. Now, it might be with your legacy. It might be you might be in jail. Who knows? But one day. And unfortunately for P. Diddy, it caught up to him. Mm-hmm. And now he's having to deal with the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you told me all that was true, I 100% would believe that.
Yeah. Because I think because I'm religious too. So, like, I kind of came back to religion just personally. Nothing, like we were talking about churches and earlier. And it's like it is interesting to see the alignment between spiritual and what physically is going on, like reality of what's going on. Because it's like, that is like, if you're doing all that stuff and doing things that are wrong in God's eyes or whatever, and you are approached by, it could just be a person, but that person represents the devil and the negative, and they're approaching you with a deal but that's the thing is, like, as soon as you break that deal, it's over for you. Your life is over. And that's what I see.
There's definitely evil out there, right? Like there are evil people in this world and evil entities. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't have good without having bad. Mm-hmm. So if you believe in angels and you believe in God, then vice versa, you have to believe in demons. You have to believe in the devil. You have to believe in those things. Like it just doesn't make sense if you don't have those. You can't have absolute good without absolute bad. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's really interesting when you dive into it, like where all that stuff plays into it. And I find that really interesting. So I think, but I've always found like angels and demons and ghosts and things like that always super interesting. I always got like made fun of as a kid because I was like, oh, ghosts are cool. And people were like, ghosts aren't real. Yeah. And I was like, oh, maybe. But, I think stuff like that is fascinating. Mm-hmm. So I would absolutely I've gone on ghost tours. Yeah. And they're so fun. But I don't know. I don't know where I stand on all of it, honestly.
Yeah. Have you had any like personal experiences with ghosts? Like anything weird happen?
Yeah. I've had a couple of things happen where it was weird. It was my girlfriend at the time. Now she's my wife. One of my fraternity brothers and a girl he was talking to went to a cemetery that were near a like historical Civil War battlefield, and we like drove there in the middle of the night. We weren't supposed to be on the property. We got on there, and some weird things happened when we were in the cemetery. Like we could hear someone walking around us, and we were the only four there. Like we could hear someone's boots scuffing against the concrete, and the concrete was like right in front of us, and there was nobody around. As we walked up to the gate, it was really windy, and then we opened the gate, and the wind just stopped.
That's
it was
terrifying.
Like really so. Yeah, there were just some really weird things. One girl got really sick while we were there, and she was like, all of a sudden, she was like, "I've got to throw up."
That's crazy.
And so, like, I don't know, was it all psychological? Maybe we were all psychologically having these hallucinations because one of us put the idea in the other one's mind and all this stuff, or maybe it was a ghost. I don't know. Like where do you fall on that? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it really matters, right? Like, I don't think in the grand scheme of things, if I believe in ghosts or don't, it doesn't matter.
It's just all fun.
Yeah, it's fun, right? Like that's what life is about.
That's how I think about like the conspiracy stuff too. Because when I look into it, it's just mostly entertainment for me. I do think about it on a serious scale to just kind of understand the perspective of it. And sometimes I'll be like, oh, well, this could be a possibility, but yeah, it's just fun ultimately.
Exactly.
Like nobody's ever going to know the truth.
Right. No, exactly.
Until we die, even if we do when we die.
Who actually killed JFK?
Yeah.
Right. Was it the CIA? Was it Cuba? Was it Harvey Oswald? Who,
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever know the truth, but it was the CIA.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting that they have a museum where you can go where he shot from?
Yeah.
How weird is that?
Yeah. Like, there's an X on the street where he this is where the bullet entered his head. Like there's an actual X of where JFK the car was when on the actual street down there.
Yeah.
And that's wild. That we were almost there with Trump. We would have had to put an X in a random field in Pennsylvania and be like, this is where Trump was assassanated.
Yeah. Like, be careful. We still got a couple weeks.
Right. Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. Like I don't care if you like Trump or not. The idea that he's been they've tried to assassinate him.
Yeah.
Is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like I don't wish that upon anyone, right?
No.
Even there's people that I really don't like that I'm not like hope some crazy kid tries to kill him.
Yeah, that's somebody's dad.
Yeah.
Somebody's
He's still a person.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that's what we forget about sometimes is behind these masks of political or even with comics, right? We put on a mask, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, we're people. We're real human beings with feelings. As I drool on myself, that's crazy.
Fine.
I was just so excited to say that. But yeah. So I don't know. I think it's. I think that's where we are in this world. That's what's so sad about it is we're in such a place where we're like, man, I wish this had happened or this had happened, and we wish ill upon people, and that's a shitty way to be.
Yeah.
Like we're that terrible of people that we're wishing ill upon other people.
It's weird that people even spend their energy thinking about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wouldn't even bother to want to kill somebody unless they touch my kid. That's a whole different story. I'll go to prison for the rest of my life, and I'll survive hell killing for my kid. It's fine.
For sure.
Sorry, God, I have to do it.
Yeah, no, for sure. If somebody hurt my two babies, no, I mean, I'm ripping your head off.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, if you voted a different way than me, okay.
Yeah, it is wild that people are getting violent over that.
Yeah.
And even over other countries that we're not even involved in, people are getting violent over.
Exactly.
I'm like, this is crazy.
Exactly. We're getting upset over something that's, well, yes, it sucks that people are dying, but that we're going to treat each other like shit because other people are dying. How is that going to help anything? So.
Yeah. But crazy. It's a cycle because it happens.
Yep.
It happened.
It happened with Vietnam. It happened with everything with Israel and Hamas and stuff like that. And so, it's a cycle. It's stupid. It's just stupid.
But, it is what it is. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's why we do comedy.
Exactly.
So we can enjoy this shit.
Yeah, we're just here to make fun of it.
Yeah. How long again have you been doing comedy for?
So I started full time 3 years ago, but I started technically about 13 or 14 years ago when I was a senior in college. I took a writing class at Zany's in Nashville that my parents bought for me, and I started doing comedy for a couple of months while I was in college. Loved it. It was what I was going to do. And then my dad passed away right after I graduated college, and I chose not to be funny for a while. And that's when I went into ministry because I still wanted to bring joy to people's lives, but figure out how I could do that. So I thought, ministry. So while ministry was exciting for a little bit, I think at some point I got to a point where I didn't like a lot of aspects of religion. Mm-hmm. And so then I left that and started doing therapy, and then realized that I still had that passion to do comedy, and so started doing an open mic near my house about 3 years ago, and took off ever since, and have been headlining clubs and going to festivals and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's been a blast. So,
I mean, that's awesome to like, just, I kind of feel like, at least personally, like everybody's experience is specifically meant for them.
Right.
Cause like sometimes I'll think back and be like, man, why couldn't I have started this when I was like 20?
Right.
Like, right. But I'm just like, you know what? No, like there's a reason why I'm starting now.
Right.
Because I had to go through those other things to even have something to talk about.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, the comic that I was 13, 14 years ago to the comic I am now, like once I had kids, things changed. I became funnier. Like everything about my comedy was funnier because like in college, I was like, yeah, I mean, what am I going to talk? I'm a 21-year-old kid. What am I going to talk about? Now I'm 36 years old and I've got life behind me. I've got 2 kids. I'm married. I have a job. I know all the ins and outs. I've been fired from jobs. I've moved. I've done all this life things. And now I'm like, okay, now I've got a little bit more of a handle on it. So yeah, no, I think living that time frame, that window where I didn't do comedy was one of the best things for my comedy career. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, that's why I'm like looking forward now, because I'm like I'm just gonna get better. Yeah. Like there's no, I mean, just with life experience, I'm just gonna get better. It's just like as long as you keep doing it.
Right.
So you're headlining now, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I definitely gotta get you back out at Villain, especially when we start doing that weekly stuff.
Yeah, so. I would love that. Yeah, I was gonna tell you. I loved seeing how many people posted on that when you were like, and then all of a sudden everybody coming out of the woodwork.
I'm like, as I told Carmen, I'm like, don't delete it yet because I got to make like an Excel sheet. So I just like hit people up when I need to because booking weekly is going to be.
Oh yeah, no, it's not the funnest.
I know.
Not, yeah. But you know, if you can get a good room going, if you can get a good thing going, then you know that's great. But yeah, I always love when I see those posts where people are like, hey, I need a headliner, feature, host. Like, and then what people will say that they are, like, really interests me. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, you think you're a feature? Oh, do you? I mean, I know people have probably said that about me, right? Oh, you think you're a headliner? You think you're that? I mean, you know, I commend the people that would tell you, like, I'll do whatever you need me to do. Okay, great. But some of these people that were like, oh, I'm a feature. I'm like, boy, you ain't even a host. Why are you saying you a feature? Stop it.
No, so like that's where I'm definitely gonna like not only like consult people around me that are more experienced than me, but also get like videos. Cause I mean, really the biggest purpose, this place isn't just for me. I have, I think 8 other comedians hosting nights to help me out. Still have to book on Saturdays and Fridays, but it's like, you know, it's going to be good for me to just be able to work with people that I think are funny, you know? So I think once I like, you know, look at people's videos and like talk with people that are more experienced or have worked with them before, I'll be able to like maneuver through the list and figure it out. I think I'm just going to have to do it and learn and just.
Oh yeah, no, that's a part of it. I mean, even with Milk, with Jari and I, sometimes we'll book somebody and then we'll see how bad they are. Like we just had something recently happen and Jari was like, hey, my bad. And I was like, dude, don't worry, man. I was like, I've booked plenty of people that I go, my bad. He goes, yeah. He goes, but you know, so I mean, it happens and everybody's, you know, everybody's due a bad night every now and then. So like even one bad night, I can't even go, well, they suck. No, it's when you're consistently bad and you don't want to grow is when I go, no, I don't want anything to do with you.
You know, that's good to know because I do get, when I do perform in front of people for the first time, like if I'm visiting somewhere, I'm like, I have to do good.
Right.
Because like they're not going to.
No, yeah.
So it's nice to know that sometimes bookers give a second chance because I'm like, I've had one place where I did good and then I bombed and I was like, some people that were there didn't see me that other night. So I'm just like, shit. Because you leave regardless of what you think, you leave an impression in that person's mind permanently. So I'm like, I always want to do good no matter what. But it's like when I don't, those like times I'm just like, fuck.
Right. No, yeah. No, I think if you view someone on one show, that's not fair to them. Now, again, if they're consistently being bad, whether it's at your show or multiple shows, and then maybe, but for me, the worst is if somebody's not willing to learn. You know, if I go, hey, Alex, maybe you shouldn't use the N-word. And you go, no, I want to. It's funny. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
And, and you don't take that criticism where I can go, look, I've been there before. Like, I know what to say, what not to say in some of these situations. And you go, no, I'm good. Like, at least take into account of what people are saying.
Yeah.
Like, and those people who just get it in their head that they're the greatest comedian ever. And I'm like, dude, you're an open micer.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you.
Yeah. Like,
you're not selling out anything here.
Mm-hmm.
When you start selling out show after show and all that stuff, then I won't even worry about you, man. You'll be doing your thing. But if you can't even get through 5 minutes without going, what's my next joke? Mm-hmm. And shut up, dude. Yeah. Shut up. So,
yeah. No, I mean, it's I think there is people out there like that they just start out with an ego.
Right.
And I've seen it. I've only been doing it for a year. And because what I think it was probably a good thing, but before I started comedy, I knew who comedians were because I was obviously into comedy, and I was listening to like just general advice for like a first timer from like professional, like real Bill Burr, Ralphie May, like the big ones, right? And the biggest thing, I think it was Bill Burr. He was like, maybe it wasn't Bill Burr, but you're not a comedian until you're getting paid to be. You need to be you really like, and it's good to look. And people may see that as a negative thing, but I see that as a positive thing because if you look at yourself that way, for me, it only makes me work harder because I'm like, I know. I was talking to Selena. I went to Selena's podcast the other day, and she said, some people have the opinion of me specifically. I guess they think that I think I'm the funniest or something. And it could be the confidence that I output when I'm, just on stage. Cause I try to, to push, not pretend, but push that confidence out of me. So I could get people's perception of, but I'm like, people don't realize internally, I'm like, I'm not, to me, I'm not funny. Cause I know how funny I want to be.
Right.
So it's like, I get that. That makes sense.
No, and I don't think for me personally, you've never given that idea. I've never seen that. There are some comics in the Florida scene where it's like, man, one day I hope to find someone who loves me like you love yourself because I don't have that relationship. No one has ever loved me that much. But, and I can name a few of those people and I won't. That's on the other podcast where you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But no, there are some of those people that are very full of themselves. And I'm like, dude, you chill. Like, there's enough room at the table for everybody. Let's have fun. Like, don't be an asshole. Like,
makes
this
things
is comedy,
tense, yeah.
Right? Like, we deal with enough assholes in the real world. Let's not have to deal with it when we're like hanging out and being comics. Like, let's just be fun.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just my opinion.
No, I agree with you completely, but I feel like no matter what, there's still going to be those people. Oh, yeah. Like, there's no way.
Oh, yeah.
You can't untrain people like that. They're just built that way for a reason.
Oh, for sure.
It's likely because they don't have a father in the household.
It all goes back to fathers.
Yeah.
It all goes back to fathers.
No, but we can wrap this up because I got to open up at Pineapples.
Yeah, so. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
Yeah, you want to, this camera, you can shout out your Instagram, shows coming up.
Yeah,
whatever.
So in the next few weeks, this weekend I'm doing this psych show at Orlando Fringe with Amy LaCours is going to, I'm going to do my set and then Amy LaCours is going to tell me what's wrong with me psychologically. So that'll be fun. And then this weekend I'm doing I'm doing Don't Tell Comedy in Melbourne.
Oh, nice.
And then the next weekend after that, I'm at Clearwater Comedy Club headlining. And then the weekend after that, Sunshine City Comedy Club headlining.
Hell yeah.
So I've got a couple of busy weeks. Excited. Instagram is Patrick Sisk _comedy. But I tell people if you just type in Patrick Sisk, I'm the first one that pops up. But come check me out. Give me a follow. And if you're one of my followers, support Alex because she does amazing things.
Thanks. So, appreciate you. Yeah, thanks for coming out. This was a shorter one today. I usually do like an hour and 20 minutes, but I will get you back out here at some point because I want to bring people back.
And we got some racism in there. We talked about autism, religion.
There's a lot.
And we jumped around. this is like a whiplash episode.
Yeah.
So I had a blast.
I think I had fun too. It went by quick. So thanks for coming out. Yeah, it was cool. Hell yeah.
She keep working that back and I'm about to throw the shit like